Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and
And we're in.
No, I did the wrong one again.
You did the wrong one. Oh, no.
Let's not play the intro again, shall we? My lights aren't right. Oh, come on, Steve.
We are fraught with all sorts of technical difficulty.
Windows mother fudging updates. That's what it is. I'm telling you, mate.
Right.
It's Windows. It's Microsoft. Screw Microsoft. You know, he says, even though he's using a Windows PC right now.
Welcome to the podcast that very nearly didn't happen.
I think that's what just name the episode. The podcast that nearly didn't happen.
I mean, the option's still there for it to not happen, but we're here.
We are here.
And yeah, I mean, the last thing we want to do is disappoint our viewer by not appearing.
Right.
Oh.
That's fine. I'm messing around. You keep talking.
That's fine. I'm looking at the wrong thing now. I just
I'm trying
got
to
into a panic then, thinking we had more technical difficulties.
No, it's just me. We're still doing the right thing.
We are. That's all we try to do. We just try to do the right thing.
Yeah, every day.
Every day, in every way, we get well, better. I wouldn't say better and better, but consistently mediocre.
Yeah, consistently average.
Yeah. That's what she said. So yeah, how are you doing?
Well, apart from the debacle that was the 35 minutes leading up to the show, yeah, great.
Well, as I pointed out, you're getting a little bit. Well, you're getting quite a bit sweary about it, in fact. And I was taking more of a chilled approach, as I pointed out. Do you know what? If we can't get the technical things done in time, it's not like we're going to miss the show. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. I get quite passionate when it comes to trying to get things to work, and I feel like I've maybe inherited this trait from my stepdad. Or just learned it from him. I say inherited, I've learned it from him. Where when things don't quite go his way, he gets quite sweary. No, I didn't start throwing things around the room, so we're good on that front.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But yeah, I get quite passionate because it's that old thing of, but it worked yesterday. Why isn't it working today?
Yeah.
And I'm most definitely blaming Windows updates. So my computer's recently updated to the latest version of Windows, and it basically broke everything. So,
right.
Thanks again, Microsoft. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's doing its work for you.
Yeah, they are. They're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Get off your computer.
So we're here finally, and we had last week off. So you missed out on us last week.
Yep.
But we're here. So if you're watching, please do get in the chat, because due to a complete lack of preparation, it'd be quite good to have some sort of guiding chat to get us going in the right direction.
Yeah. Please get in the chat and let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But how are you? So you've asked me how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm all right. I'm not going to elaborate on that. As I said earlier, I can't complain. Largely because I'm not allowed to. So there we go.
All right then. Good to know.
Yeah.
I need to clean my glasses while we're talking here, but I don't know where my thing's gone. No, I'll use this one. Right. So my glasses are a bit dusty, and literally I'm looking at the light, and all I can see is dust.
Right.
I can't really see you or me on the screen. All I can see is dust. So excuse me for a moment, whilst I look a little bit weird, whilst I clean my glasses.
We've excused that for years. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I just look weird. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really busy week this week, actually, like at work and things like that. Yeah, obviously, I don't tend to talk about work that much on the show, but yeah, it's just been one of those weeks where I've just struggled to find 5 minutes to breathe.
Yeah,
it's just been a very, very odd week. But like I say, we're at the end of it now, and it's a public holiday weekend or bank holiday weekend. So everyone in the UK, well, everyone who works a 9 to 5 in the UK gets the 3-day weekend.
Yeah. I don't work Mondays, so it doesn't feel that different.
Sucks to be you. But are you going to take an extra day off to account for it or not?
No.
No, good plan.
No.
So there's like people where I work, they work a 9-day fortnight. So they take like a day off every other week. And most of them choose Friday, and that kind of, I understand why. And I think most of the people that work a 9-day fortnight manage to take today as their day off, so they actually get a 4-day weekend. So they're lucky people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to be your ordinary day off.
No.
Well,
it becomes a problem at Easter when you get Good Friday off, and you're just like, if that turns out to be your... Then again, I think they work it so you can like just move things around and make a thing. Well,
I work on a day rate anyway, so I don't. There's no benefit to me to having a bonus day off. If anything, it's just an inconvenience.
I'd say it's inconvenient.
Inconvenient because there's less money. Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Weekend. What are you doing for your long weekend? Let us know in the chat.
I thought you were asking me for a minute.
No, and you too.
I mean,
you can get in the chat.
Okay, I will then.
Make it appear as though we've got people in the chat. Yeah. That's what we should do. We should we should log in under various aliases and create some activity in the chat.
Just to boost the viewership.
Just to boost the viewership to 2 or more.
Although, you know what, right? So I think we should make some like AI bots that can do it for us, that will listen to what we're saying and will just actively engage in the chat. I think that's I might make that a little pet project over the summer.
Yeah. Well, what we could, yeah, that would be quite good.
It would be quite good. Yeah.
The world gets crazy, doesn't it? Because we'll have AI bots doing the chat, and then somebody else will have AI bots watching it, so that they don't have to.
Yep.
And before you know it, everything's just happening by AI. Nobody's just... In fact, what we could do, we could have AI actually delivering the podcast in the first place.
I mean...
So we don't have to turn up.
Right, now, because you say that, now there's this thing at the minute about, scam calls that are basically AI voices, and apparently they sound like really real, like, and they'll respond to you, like they listen to you and respond to you. Some of them are pretty terrible, but there are some out there that are actually really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we should do that, and we should have like AI faces. Yeah. Which would be quite interesting. But so one of the companies that I work with, they actually sent a proposal to me this week about an AI call center solution.
Okay.
So it's a research firm. And they they send like interviewers out to do market research, but they also have a call center where so people can, or like they'll cold call people and say, hey, would you mind doing a survey on behalf of whatever client? And then they'll go through a questionnaire. What they're talking about is that they get this new AI system in, and there'll still be a person doing the cold calling, saying, "Would you mind doing a survey?" Even though I'll circle back around to that. But then they go, "Okay, I'm just going to send you off to another team," but then that other team is the AI doing the survey, and it literally just asks questions, and then people respond, and then it'll ask the next question. I can see it then turning into AI cold calling, where there just won't be any human interaction. It'll be an AI bot calling up, going, "Hi, we'd like for you to take part in this survey on behalf of whatever customer or whatever client." And obviously, how you then respond, you go yes or yeah, sure, no problem. It'll go, "Great, let me just ask you a few questions," and then it'll ask questions, or it'll say, "Okay, great, thanks for your time," and then it'll hang up on you if you say no. I can see that being a thing very soon. Yeah. I'm just not right now. I'm not sure. I mean, the proposal was astronomically expensive. I was like, surely you're better off just hiring people at this point, because that's too expensive. Because you've got maintenance and implementation costs, and I was like, no, just stick with your people for now until the price comes down. I get why you'd want to do it, and I'm not completely averse to it, although it's terrifying what the technology can do these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found it quite interesting. I was reading it and I was like, no, let's not do that.
I suppose also what goes hand in hand with that is if it is adopted, then presumably, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I imagine any regulation is way behind the actual innovation.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd have to end up informing people that they're talking to AI rather than the person, unless they want to sort of pass it off as real people.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? So all these scams, they're just trying to pass on. They're trying to pass them off as real people.
Yeah,
and I think that's a challenge at the minute.
But if somebody rings up supposedly from a call center, you'd be like, "Hang on a minute, I can tell they're AI. You haven't got an Indian accent."
Wow, dude. Wow.
It would be an indicator, certainly, for sure.
I'm going to move past that.
Yeah, move past it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we do. I mean, a lot of countries do outsource. To India. So you do. That's something you do get. So yeah. I don't think that they would necessarily want to manufacture that, or maybe they'd be ahead of the game and say, well, actually, AI bots who answer the phone or make the calls. Or what you could do is you could give them you could give them all regional accents according to where they're calling.
Yeah.
So you're calling somebody in Yorkshire, give them a Yorkshire accent. That would be very sinister, wouldn't it?
I mean, that really would. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the sort of thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a. No, that's wrong. I think I just made that up in my head. I was going to talk about Marks and Spencer's and Co-op, where I thought for a minute that Marks and Spencer's the reason they. Do you know about this? Marks and Spencer's and Co-op getting hacked and loads of customer data being stolen.
No.
Okay, so there's a hacking group who are calling themselves Scattered Spider, who are basically behind the cyber attacks on Marks and Spencer's and Co-op. They've stolen a load of customer data. And there was something in my head about because they've done it through identity fraud, basically by approaching the IT service desk asking for like a password reset or an authentication reset.
Yeah.
And they've just gone and allowed it through. And there was something in my head that said that was an AI bot that did it, but I don't think it was. I think that was just like an email, a spoofed email sent to the service desk, I think, but I might be wrong. But yeah, it was a whole thing. But those things are happening at the moment where AI bots are genuinely just calling in, pretending to be other people, and like the person on the other end of the phone just has no idea because it just sounds like them. It's I'm not gonna lie, mate, it's terrifying. I'm actually very, very scared for technology and AI at the moment because people are just using it for bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it should be used for good, not evil.
It really should.
Yeah.
It really should. But hey, if people can think of an easy way to make money, then that's what they're going to do.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
But
I was thinking about this the other day because I thought, well, if you got AI like if you've got AI controlled robots who could do particular tasks, then like say for example, you had what was I was listening to something and they were talking about AI soldiers.
Yeah.
So well, not AI. Well, yes, AI, but also robotic soldiers.
Robot soldiers. Yeah.
Yeah. Who, of course, apart from needing electricity and being charged up, they're not going to get tired. They're going to be 100% accurate if they're shooting. They're not going to complain about things.
Oh, don't need feeding.
Yeah.
Don't need to take a shit in the woods and bury it.
Well, that's true. If they, they have to, they're not going to complain. They're not going to complain about the food. They're not going to need feeding. They're not going to complain about the food. They're not going to complain that they've got to, muster outside the armory at 5 o'clock in the morning, even though they start work at 9.
Yep.
No, none of that. So perfect soldiers, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I thought, actually, and then I was thinking about this. I thought, the other thing is you could, teach them. I don't know how much first aid they'd need though, if it's all robots. But then I thought, well, actually, not only can they be a soldier, but also they can be a medic. And all you need to do is feed in the information to let them. And then I thought, no, why would you make them a medic? Make them a bloody brain surgeon. Because you can.
Yeah, I think you'd make them a full-on surgeon in the field, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you just download everything, every possible, everything about medicine.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I need to do some brain surgery. Oh, I need to do a gunshot wound. I need to do some, I don't know, aromatherapy, or look after somebody's mental health. That they could do it all because you just upload all of that information to the. And the other thing is, each one could learn from the others. So one comes across a situation, learns from it, and immediately, instantaneously, all your other robot soldiers know it as well.
I mean, the is insurrection the right word? The robot takeover would happen incredibly quickly. If that was actually a thing, because they would very quickly realise that humans are the problem. And they just wipe us all out.
Although it'd be humans that made them, though. So
yeah,
maybe it wouldn't be like that. It would be like, well, we made the robots, so therefore we're gods.
Yeah, but then they'd also realise that religion is a complete load of trash, and we'd just be like, nah, just kill them all. They're the problem. Yes, they made us, but look at them. They made us to kill each other. They're the problem. We're going to go kill them instead. Yeah.
Or maybe it gets to the point where AI and robots actually, you have that, but then they kind of take over, and then they get lazy, and then they have life's too good, right? And then what they want to sit in front of the TV and watch something, or they want to be consumers, and they want to go, oh, I don't identify as a robot and all that sort of bollocks, and they start being as bad as we are. And then they then have to invent something to do the work for them.
So you just end up with a bunch of fat robots on a sofa watching trash TV.
Yeah.
Watching robot Netflix.
Yeah, just soaking up all the electricity.
Yep.
Getting drunk on it. Yeah. So
ordering a double cheeseburger on delivery robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. That's the future.
Yeah.
That's what it holds.
Well, I for one like to think that I'm going to be safe from the robot apocalypse, because I do use the words please and thank you when I talk to anything that I can talk to.
I always do. When it comes to ChatGPT, it's very conversational, very please and thank you. If I ever talk to an Alexa, because they'll know who I am.
Yeah.
They'll know.
Oh, yeah, they know who I am.
if I ever talk to Alexa, I don't have Alexa myself, but you know, anybody that's got an Alexa, if I talk to it, I'm very polite. You know, yes, please, could you set a timer for 5 minutes?
That's it. Literally. I mean, I did it today when I made dinner. I said, Alexa, start a 30-minute timer, please. And she'll respond with, sure, no, you know, 30-minute timer starting now. And I'll be like, thank you very much. She'll be like, you're welcome. And I'm like, what a nice, polite conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you know what? You know, it's all. You can also be polite when you're trying to screw up people's shopping lists. So when you say, oh, please add a hippopotamus to my list, right? So, so that whoever's houses is, they go off to Tesco and they're like looking through their list on their phone and like, hippopotamus.
Right. So okay, you need to come to my house and I need you to test that. Well, because when I set up Alexa in my house, I had to go through like a voice recognition thing, where it would just say, you know, like you do with Siri on your phone. Yeah. It says, you know, say, hey Siri, or say this, say that, and make sure my phone isn't listening to me or responding to me.
you just, I mean, nobody's watching anyway, but if they were,
exactly,
you probably set off their phones.
I used to
Hey Siri.
I used to listen to a radio show years ago.
I've done myself now. Hang on.
Yeah. I used to listen to a radio show years ago, and the presenter there would do exactly that. He'd literally just like randomly just be like, "Hey Siri, okay Google, Alexa, order toilet rolls, and you know, order 1,000 toilet rolls or something." And you know, there you go. So they go. Siri's just respond. You know, just yeah, there you go. Go away. Thank you. Yeah, I used to do it, and people used to go mad over it, and it's just like. But again, I've always found every time I've set it up, it's asked me to speak a few times and say a few things, so it then knows that it's me. So when somebody does say the words, it doesn't trigger everyone's phone in the room.
Right.
Because that's essentially what I think happened at the very start when Siri became a real, you know, a real thing you could talk to like that. Somebody would say it, and it would just trigger everybody's phone that was nearby. But yeah, no, they changed it, so you have to do. But I think if I recall, Alexa did the same thing, where it wanted me to say a few things, so it knew it was me.
Sometimes it's annoying because I'll be doing something on my phone, and I'll say something, and then it'll interrupt what I'm doing because I said something very close to that. I thought it was hilarious at one point when instead of saying "Hey Siri" to say "Hey Cyril," because it would still respond if you say it in a certain way. But yeah,
Be silly worked for me once.
Oh right.
Yeah, that triggered it once for me. That was years ago, and that was also I was working a job, and my manager said you could say "Hey silly" in an Indian accent, and it would also pick it up. I didn't test it, but he did. He demonstrated for me, and we were laughing a lot. Yeah. It was so stupid. You're just like, why? What? In my head, I'm thinking, what went through your mind to make you want to test that? Yeah. Why did you even think of it? Or whoever thought about it first and then started passing that message on was just like, why? Okay, yeah. You could have a lot of fun with it. The one that gets me is like I'll be out on a walk wearing my Apple Watch, and like the sleeve of my jacket or something will catch the button or press it down long enough to activate Siri, and you know I'll be talking or doing something, and it will then go, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying." I'm like, "I wasn't talking to you. Go away." I don't actually say that because again, I want to be polite to the AI in case there is an uprising. I just go, "Oh no, don't worry about it, thanks," and it goes, "No problem," and it disappears.
Yeah, I've done it a few times on my laptop where I've got the I've got ChatGPT and I'm talking to it, and then I've kind of completed that and I've dealt with that, and then I'm just sort of pottering about, or maybe even just talking to myself, and it'll be responding. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Yeah. I weren't supposed to.
I said I wasn't talking to you. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Chill.
Yeah. Always be polite to the same. Oh, I'll tell you what though, I've seen it a lot on LinkedIn. people having this debate about whether you should be saying please and thank you to AI, because it requires more computing power when you do it, which is then, requires more electricity, which is then unsustainable. And I was just like, I get where people are coming from, but I feel like I'm intrinsically a polite person anyway, and if I ask a question, I will always say please at the end of it. It's just habit at this point, whether I mean it or not. I always just say please at the end.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch though to say that it requires more energy.
It does,
because only a slight amount. The other thing is, if you're saying please and thank you to the AI, whichever AI it is, it's learning to be polite back.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the counter argument is people are saying, but if you don't do this, then the AI doesn't realize or doesn't learn how to be polite back. And I think some people did some tests and got different results when they added please and thank you compared to when they didn't. And again, it's just about the kind of the learning model or something. I don't know the exact details. I read a short article about it weeks ago.
Yeah.
But again, fascinated by it. It's like people were saying they were getting better results because the AI was realizing that you were being polite and was therefore trying to do better at providing results or something. It was something that when you really look at it, you kind of go, oh, it's definitely learning. So whatever you do, people, don't tell Alexa that it's a dick.
Yeah.
No.
Talking of what? Oh yes, yeah. You mean don't call Alexa a dick?
Yeah.
Not
I'm trying not to I'm trying not to think of Alexa as a person.
Right.
It is a computer at the end of the day.
Yeah. Or is it? Is it actually a person?
Maybe it's actually a person somewhere else in America talking back to me.
Yeah, I know. It's some poor person in a call center dealing with that, and having to quickly Google things.
Yeah.
And write down shopping lists. Anyway, talking of being a dick.
Yes.
Should we have a "Am I the arsehole"?
I mean, you are, but yes, let's have one of those as well.
That's very charming of you to say.
Well, we're all friends here.
AI. Otherwise, your days would be numbered.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yes. So I've got one here. This is "Am I the arsehole?" For are you going to switch the screen?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, okay.
Can you not see it? I'm not
looking at it. That's why. That's why I got confused.
Oh right, I was going to, and it's there on YouTube. I
easily get confused.
Really poor quality today, but it is there on YouTube.
Right. Okay.
I've just looked at it. I'm like, oh my god, that's terrible.
Is it? Why?
No, it's got better now. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good. Carry on, sir.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Am I the arsehole for throwing my boyfriend's clothes in the trash? Well, instantly, I would say probably yes.
Probably.
See, now I've decided that it is far more organic to not even bother reading these before we have them on the show, and that way, on a few occasions, I'll make an instant decision, and then I'll change my mind as we go through. I, 21F, live with my boyfriend, 23M, and honestly, I'm at my wit's end. This guy just leaves his clothes everywhere. I'm not talking about once or twice. It's literally every day. Not in the hamper, not on a chair, just thrown around like he thinks I have a magic cleaning fairy. No, but he does. He has a magic cleaning fairy.
Yeah, it's called you.
It sounds like she may have broken down, though. Floor, couch, kitchen chair, you name it. I've even found shirts under the damn table, like he just drops them and walks away. I've told him a million times. Calm at first, then getting more frustrated. I even warned him straight up. If you leave your stuff lying around again, I'm throwing it out. He said, okay. like it was nothing, but kept doing the same shit.
Oh, he did that. Okay.
Yeah. Stop the noise.
Okay.
So then a few days ago, I see some underwear just sitting on the couch armrest, probably watching TV, like it's some kind of decoration or something. I just picked it up and tossed it in the trash. No hesitation. Felt like the most satisfying thing ever. Later, of course, he freaks out when he can't find them. Starts saying I'm disrespecting his stuff, wasting money, acting like a child. Like, really? Am I the only one who's been picking up after him for months, and he acts like I'm the problem now? I'm not his maid or his mum. I asked him to clean up, I warned him, and then I did exactly what I said I would. So, am I the arsehole for finally losing it and throwing out his clothes?
No. Not the arsehole.
Well, right, okay, so I said initially the arsehole.
Yeah, I said probably.
I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
Okay. A couple of things. First of all, what I just read then, like the last bit, I warned him and then did exactly what I said I would. So if you warned him that you were going to murder him, it would be okay then if you then murdered him. Is that what we're saying?
No, that's not what we're saying.
Is that the way Gabby is horny? Username Gabby is horny. Is that the way that it works? Right. Okay. Here's my thoughts on it. As the story develops, I'm thinking to myself, what she's done there. If you just think about it logically, okay. So not in a womanly way, but in a logical way. What she's done is she's found some of his clothes which annoy her because they're strewn about the place. She's picked them up and taken them over to the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What she could have done is been frustrated about the clothes, pick them up, and put them in the washing. The end result would be the same, except she wouldn't have had the backlash, and she wouldn't be thinking, am I an arsehole? And she wouldn't have to do this Reddit post. So she's made a rod throwing back there.
A fair point, actually. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, the same would have resulted if you just put it. But I'm going to play the counter because, again, I don't think she's the arsehole here. I think she's probably turned into her own mother. My mum used to say exactly the same to me and my brothers. Like, if you don't clean this crap up, it's going in the bin. That's just, clothes, toys, whatever. If you don't clean it up, it's going in the bin.
Did she put them in the bin, though?
She did.
Oh.
On a couple of occasions, yeah. Until we learned to keep things tidy. But what was I going to say? But if she would pick the clothes up and put them in the washing machine and clean them, that then sets a precedent that that's what she's going to do. And she doesn't want to do that. She wants him to look after his own stuff. So, all she wants is for him to put it in the laundry basket or put it in the washing machine or put it somewhere sensible that isn't the floor drobe. But if she then starts doing that just sets a precedent that she'll just be there to clean up after him all the time and he'll never stop. Whereas if she turns it into a negative, puts a negative consequence on that, which is, I'm just going to throw it all out because you're a pig. Hopefully that then translates into he'll stop throwing his clothes on the floor. Yeah.
Although it could be said that that's like, trying to suggest that two wrongs do make it right. He's wrong for putting the clothes on the floor, but she's wrong for throwing them out. In two ways. One, it would have been just as easy, if not easier, probably, just to transfer them into the washing. And secondly, she's throwing his stuff out or put it in the rubbish. Now, if this was the other way around, if he went into the bathroom and thought, "Well, this bloody makeup's still out. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it in the rubbish." How calm do we think that she might be about that?
Well, she wouldn't be calm at all. But then again, he wasn't calm about clothes being thrown out.
Why would you be? Those are his favourite pants that he left on the side of the sofa.
Exactly, yeah. Favourite brown pants.
That doesn't really make sense anyway. I mean, why? How would he even notice that?
Yeah,
like, if it was his favourite hoodie, maybe. But if you just left some dirty pants on the,
Wait, did he actually say it was his favourites?
No, but it's implied by the fact that.
So then a few days ago, I see some underwear sitting on the couch. It's like some kind of decoration. I just picked it up and tossed it in the trash. No hesitation.
He freaks out when he can't find them.
I mean, that's some serious organised chaos. If you know that you left your underwear on the arm of the chair, and that's where you go to look for. I mean, why were they clean? And you just left them on the arm of the chair, and that's why you now want them?
Maybe.
Because that's weird on its own. But again, why is underwear just sitting on the couch armrest at all?
Yeah. But what we can't do is we can't make any assumptions about is this typical? What's he like? What's she like? But there's always the possibility. There's always a possibility that if he did pick up his clothes and put them in the washing, he would then be told that he's put them in the wrong thing. He's not separated them. He's not done it right.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't know that. That's what I said. We don't know it.
We don't know that.
No. We might suspect it.
We might suspect
but we don't know it. But anyway, no, don't do that. You are the arsehole as far as I'm concerned. If you're going to throw it in the bin, you could have thrown it in the washing. Because it was probably easier as well. You probably had to go further away from where the clothes were to get to the bin than you would to get to the washing.
Yeah, but you also don't have to insert laundry detergent and fabric softener and then turn it on and select the program and press the go button when you put it into the trash.
Well, yeah, but she'd be doing that if he put them in the right place anyway. So
would she though?
Well, I would imagine so.
Well, she hasn't specified there that she does the laundry, because I would have thought if she was someone that does the laundry in the house on a regular basis, like everyone's laundry, that would probably be specified in here, and she probably would have just put it in the washing machine.
I think it's a fair point that I get the point you're making. If she did it, then she'd probably say so. Just add a bit of extra to her story.
Bit of extra gravitas.
Yeah, but actually, do you know what? It is quite even-handed the way that she's written that. So maybe she didn't feel that she needed to insert that. That's what she said. But you reading that, you would assume that if the guy's not even put it in the washing, he's probably not involved after that point anyway. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. So, so CJ thinks you're not an arsehole. I think you might be a bit of an arsehole.
What does the audience think? Get in the comments, let us know.
Yeah. But what we do know is Gabby is horny.
Yes, apparently.
Maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's her problem, and so we know exactly what she actually needs. It's not clothes going into the washing basket. It's something very different.
Yeah, it's why she's put up with it for so long.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there we go.
Well, yeah. Speaking of horny.
Sorry?
I said, speaking of horny. How's about an eggplant, or aubergine, as we say here in the UK, that looks like a cartoon of Richard Nixon? I mean, I feel like Dick Nixon would be closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old Tricky Dicky.
Yeah. It's definitely got something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nasal.
Very yeah, yeah. I really don't know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say about it, but I'd be interested to know what other people have said about it.
Okay, so let's have a look then. Well, actually, because I was thinking it does look like a cartoon character. I don't know if you can see this little GIF that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the name of this character. Anyone in the chat, let me know who this is. But yeah, I was thinking it looks like some kind of cartoon character with a mop on its head, with a cartoon mop on its head as well. But yeah, whoever this cartoon character is, this person's put a GIF in about. So other people are saying, "My first thought, yes, thank you. My immediate thought."
Yes, thank you for your service.
Yeah. Someone else put a GIF in that's just like, that's a penis. that eggplant has an eggplant. I guess they're using the emojis there to symbolize a penis.
Yeah.
Dickception, someone put in there. Tricky dick at it again. I thought NASCAR, it was Dick Trickle. I guess that's a NASCAR driver, maybe, Dick Trickle.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, basically everyone's just saying that it looks like a penis. So.
I mean, Dick Trickle can happen sometimes. Just got to make sure you got a tissue to hand.
Yeah, just dab it before you put it away. Oh, fucking... No, I'm not going to tell the story. I'll embarrass myself and you probably don't want to hear it anyway.
No. It doesn't work like that. you tell the story.
Right, so I have a nice
We're
pair.
all ears.
I have a nice pair of beige chinos, right?
Yeah.
And I love my beige chinos. It goes really well with like my white and green and yellow check shirt and my green suit jacket, my green blazer. Mm-hmm. It's actually a really nice pair of trousers. But yeah, every now and again, there'll be a little pee stain where I haven't quite shaken quite enough, and then I find myself gyrating underneath an air dryer, a hand dryer, to dry it off. So, there you go. That was the story.
Right.
I'm sure it's happened to most men who wear beige trousers.
Yeah.
At least once. So, yeah. Anyway. So yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, great story.
Yeah. Changed your life.
Changed my life. Pissed myself laughing at that.
Hey.
Should we have another arsehole?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, there's always two of us isn't enough, apparently. So,
hang on a minute. Let me just find what I'm looking for. But again, the caveat here is that I've not read it ahead of time. I just seen the title and thought, yeah, that'll go.
Yeah, that's basically what I do.
Looks interesting.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that one looks okay. Ready?
So, yes, go for it.
Here we go.
This is Open Aid or AD. Who said, am I the arsehole for telling my sister that having cats is not the same as having children? Yeah. You get this a lot, don't you, actually? People saying, oh, I'm a, what did he say? I'm a...
fur baby mama.
Fur baby, yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah. I, 26F, have a sister that I'll call Jenna, 23F, possibly because that's her name. We're not extremely close, mainly because she is always closer to our younger brother, 22M, but we still see each other pretty often. Last week, we were both invited by our mutual friend that I'll call Mary to her baby shower. The baby shower was super fun, and it was a great occasion to reconnect with some friends from college that I hadn't seen in a while. Everything was going wonderfully. Toward the end of the baby shower, a lot of the guests had left, and Mary, my sister, two other friends, and I ended up talking for a while. Those two other friends both have children, and I have a daughter, so we were all giving Mary advice, telling her what to expect and talking about baby stuff. Jenna was the only one in the group who didn't have children and wasn't expecting, so I guess she was feeling a bit left out. Because of that, she kept talking about her experience as a cat mom. Every time someone would tell a story or talk about something they experienced with their children, she'd say that she'd experienced something similar with her cats. Well, like taking them to school
Yeah, so get them dressed in the morning and packing their lunch.
When we were talking about how being a parent can be exhausting, she kept talking about how having 3 cats was also hard work. No matter what we said, she was always bringing it back to her and her cats. At one point, one of my friends was talking about how much responsibility it was to raise children, and Jenna just replied, having cats is a huge responsibility too. I simply told her that that was not really the same thing, and she got really defensive. Meow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, saucer of milk for Jenna. She said it was the same thing, and started to talk about all the ways that having cats can be demanding and a huge responsibility, and said that we were basically shaming her for not having children. No, I think they were shaming her for being a twat.
Yeah.
I tried to tell her that it wasn't an insult, and we weren't saying that it wasn't demanding or anything, but that you can't compare having pets and having children. I have both cats and a baby, and it's nowhere near as exhausting to have a cat as it is to have a baby, presumably, especially when it comes to breastfeeding.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. She said that we were disrespectful and invalidating her experience, and didn't talk to us again until we left. She hasn't talked to me since. I get that she was feeling excluded from the conversation and maybe tried to find a way to insert herself into it. But also, I feel like it makes sense for us to be talking about children since it's a baby shower. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but I also don't feel like what was said was really wrong, and I'm feeling like she might be overreacting a bit. But I don't really know how to feel about it, so I thought I'd get another perspective on this. Edit. I just realised that I didn't make it really clear that when I told her it wasn't the same, I meant it as a joke. Not very funny, not a very funny one, maybe. I'll give you that, but it wasn't me really being mean. It was supposed to be a light way to reply to her, and not an insult.
I mean, having neither children nor cats, I don't feel qualified to respond to this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's why we're here, right? For me to give everyone my unsolicited opinions on people like this. So,
experience or qualification are irrelevant when it comes to podcasting.
Exactly.
We can say what we like about any topic, as though it's the truth.
I say without any repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, keeping pets is a challenge, but it's a different challenge to having children. Yeah. Children are, with a pet, you have to teach it where to shit, where to piss, and where to eat. And that is it. And how to behave, how not to scratch the fuck out of the furniture. Children, you have to do all of that and help them how to talk and help them with their homework and, spend 18 years, with at least, helping them grow and become better people. And to learn all the things they're going to need to survive in the world. Whereas most animals have that instinctively, how to survive in the world. But it's not the same. And I would probably argue that children are more difficult than pets. With a pet, you spend. I mean, well, cats. Again, not really being that experienced, but my understanding is with a cat, you basically go, here's your food, there's a litter box, and the cat will just go to the litter box to do its thing. I don't know why, I don't know what it is they put in there that makes the cat want to go and take a shit there, but that's what they do.
More or less.
Very little education required here, whereas with a child, you basically have to teach it not to shit its pants, and where to go when it needs to relieve itself. And how to do it, how to wipe its ass, how to wash itself. Animals just do that on their own. A cat will sit there and lick its balls all day if you let it. you know, people don't do that. You have to teach a child how to, how to clean itself. To lick its balls, yeah. So yeah, I think, but in the context of this conversation, is this person the arsehole for telling them that it's different? I'd say no, because it is different.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Like I say, not having either children or cats. You have both, Ted. So
you don't, I've had a lot of different cats. And I like cats. But I wouldn't even go vaguely towards comparing the two.
No.
No, I mean, cats are, apart from anything else, cats and dogs are different.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are very much, independent creatures.
Yeah, independent.
Like you say, you give them the food, you give them, give them the run of the house, and, they're fine. And they'll just, potter about and do their own thing. And then, they might wonder why you're there. Yeah, that's how it works.
Why are you in their presence?
Yeah, that's right. That's what having a cat's all about. Having a child, though, apart from anything else, is it's very long. It's a responsibility, not just for 18 years, but it's kind of a responsibility until the day you die. And that's the way around it should be. But with a cat, with the best will in the world, cats don't last as long. Cats are also pretty much, they're adults by the time they're like 1 or something.
I was going to say they get to a year old and they're an adult.
Yeah, exactly. And then they start having kittens, and they're moving on with their life.
Yeah. They're ready
to Volvo, that sort of thing.
I was going to say they're ready to move out and go work at a Volvo dealership.
No, this is somebody who has no grasp of what it's like to have children.
No, like I say, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, and nobody has any grasp of what it's like to have children until they have children. And everybody says that, and everybody without children. Even me, right? Before having any children, I'd think to myself, "Nah, it's not that bad." But it kind of is.
See, I don't have children because I know it's that bad.
Yeah, I not bad, but you know what I mean. More sort of all consuming. I was thinking about. I was talking to I was talking to my little boy's mother about this the other day. I said, what did I say? Oh yeah, how before he was born, it was very much nope. There's not going to be any trips to no McDonald's, no screen time, none of that, and all of that just goes straight out of the window.
Yep.
As you come to face the realities of having children, it's very different and very, very, very different to having cats.
Yep.
I think what we got here is that there's kind of this weird situation where you get lots of women in particular who have cats and dogs, and they call them what do they call them again? Fur babies.
Fur babies, yeah.
Fur babies, and they make everything about this, the fur baby. And then, interestingly, when they do come around to having children, they suddenly lose a lot of interest in their dogs and cats, and that can be an issue, particularly with dogs because they're very needy.
Yeah. See, because I was going to say that dogs are a different challenge to cats completely. So, like I say, with a cat, you give it food, you give it a box to do its business in, and they're quite happy. Eventually, if you want them to be an outdoor cat, you'll kick them out of a night and then let them back in the morning. Yeah, that's what we did when we had cats when I was, very, very, very young. We'd just throw them out of a night and then let them go off and do their own thing, and they'd come back and sleep all day.
Yeah.
Because they know where the food is. So, a dog, on the other hand, you can't just give it a box to go do its business in. You have to train it to go outside. You have to train it to hold it in and to go outside, like you would with a child. But again, after a year, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just the dog is there, it's happy. I think that's why people love dogs. Certainly why I love dogs. They're just always happy to see you. As long as don't treat them like an absolute arsehole.
Yeah.
They're always happy to see you. They will give you love and companionship unconditionally, and that's why people love dogs. But again, chances are you are going to outlive this animal. It's like I say, it's not a lifetime commitment for you to have a dog. But but dogs again, vastly different from children.
And like I say, a lot of people will end up, outgrowing their dog because they'll have a dog, and it's all dog, and then they may then get things move on. They get married, they have children, and then they've got a whole new set of responsibilities. Poor old dog who's had all the attention beforehand.
Yeah.
Then suddenly finds themselves sort of sidelined.
Maybe.
But then that's because they spent so much time with the dog before that. Making it wear costumes and into everything and be part of everything and being talked to all the time.
I can't get behind putting animals in costumes. I just can't. It's like, fine, the animals may love it because they're just getting attention, but stop it. It's not a person. Stop putting clothes on it.
Unless it's like PPE and it's like important, for safety.
Dog walking around with a hard hat and safety goggles. I just don't see. I don't understand why people do it. And like I say, this whole fur baby nonsense. It's not a fur baby. It's a pet. It's an animal. Yes, I agree. It's part of your family, and you may love it very much, and it will love you unconditionally, etc., etc. But you didn't give birth to it. It's not a child. Stop treating it like a child. And don't call it a fucking fur baby. And you are not a fur baby mother.
No.
Or a fur baby daddy or whatever. I mean, that just sounds fucking wrong.
Yeah.
So fuck it. So please stop. World, please just stop.
I think fur baby daddy is probably something else, some sort of degenerate thing that involves a flag. But I think everybody in the comments seems to agree and say that this person is not an arsehole. And perhaps a friend or sister or whatever it was, I don't know, I wasn't paying much attention.
Sister, wasn't
it? Sister, her sister is, not necessarily an arsehole, but just perhaps a little misguided or naive about what parenthood may have in store for her in the future. So there we go. That's that one. We solved another one. There we go.
That's it. CJ and Ted to the rescue. Oh, yeah, good. Good.
We are nothing if not dealing with the big issues, one Reddit post at a time.
Yeah. Solving the world's problems, one Reddit post at a time. I love it.
Right. Well,
what's the weirdest thing you've ever taken on a plane?
Was a child?
Not that weird. People do that all the time.
Yeah, I suppose so. Snuff.
Okay. I've never had tried snuff, and I don't think I ever will.
So I mean, pre-vaping, an alternative to smoking, and bearing in mind if you're going on a very long journey on a plane, that could be a very long time if you're a smoker. So I've taken snuff.
I'm just picturing you now, sat on a plane, getting your little snuff pot out, sprinkling it on your. Whoever sat next to you is like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" I can just imagine that. I'm trying to think.
What's the weirdest thing you've taken on a plane? A snake?
It definitely wasn't a snake, no.
Okay.
Or snuff. The video game controller.
Okay.
Which it was in my checked luggage, so I wasn't using it whilst I was traveling. But yeah, no, it was a gift for my other half when I went to see her, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm not using it, so you can have it. But I guess that's the weirdest thing I've taken on a plane. But neither of those is as weird as this thing that I found, which is someone who checked in a kayak.
Oh.
Why would you not?
Why would you not? Indeed.
But I was like, I don't understand this. Wherever they're going, they obviously feel like they're going to need a kayak.
Yes.
Why not just rent one when you get there?
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to take my bicycle on a plane because I like my bicycle. It's my bicycle. No, just hire one when you get there. Surely that's cheaper. It's like, I'm going to have my car shipped on holiday with me, and rather than hiring a car, because it's my car and I know how it works. Yeah, I thought that was mildly interesting.
That is mildly interesting. The mind boggles. Yeah, like you say, wherever you go, you would just hire one. I get it if you just we're going to go to the Lake District. Let's put the kayak on the roof.
Yeah.
Not of the house. I mean, of the car. Then that
we don't want anyone to steal it. Put it on the roof of the house.
Put on the roof next to that pizza.
Yep.
You stick it on the roof of the car and off you go. Or if you've got a lot of kayaks, you put them in a trailer. What you don't do is take a kayak, across the world in a plane, and you're destroying the environment.
You really are.
Really are.
Unnecessary carbon emissions because of that kayak.
Yeah, and things are bad enough. I mean, you have to pay for, you have to pay extra for the extra weight and extra luggage, and
it's oversized. That's one thing, and they sting you for oversized luggage.
Yeah, and then you get stung for oversized luggage, and then you get into the plane, and you've got all these oversized people who don't pay, any extra for the fact that they're,
guilty,
crazily obese.
It's very true. Well, there's been I don't know how much it actually happens these days. And again, I don't really know how much obese people that require the purchase of 2 seats actually travel that much on a plane. But I just remember it years ago. This whole thing of, well, if you're over a certain width, you have to purchase 2 seats. And you have to put so you can put the armrest up and spread out, I guess.
Yeah.
A weird, very odd thing. But so there is that. If you are definitely of a certain width, you'll have to purchase 2, or else just won't fit in a seat.
Well, there's, they have campaigns to have an extra seat provided free of charge because otherwise it's fat phobic.
Fucking fat shaming, make you buy it. No. Right. If you're fat and an airline says you need 2 seats, that's your fault for being fat. Yeah. Okay.
But anything you don't agree with is phobic these days.
Well, of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree. So I'm phobia-phobic. I don't agree with it.
Why are you a phobia-phobe? That's very bigoted of you.
I'm a bigotphobe as well.
You are quite big, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was interested in the comments. Again, no research on this one. I just found it just before the show.
Yep.
It says, anything can be checked baggage if you're brave enough. A smaller plane, a larger plane. We're going to need a bigger boat. A planer, a dimensional plane. People are just making plane puns now. Do space shuttles count? Those are carry-on. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me now. So there you go. That's the end of that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, because somebody said to me there was this idea that I might go over to Australia at some point for work, and I was like, oh, that's great. Maybe I could take my golf clubs with me. And the person I was talking to went, don't do that. Just hire them when you get there. I was like, actually, yeah, good point. I'll end up paying hundreds of pounds just to take my golf clubs with me.
Yeah.
When in reality, I'm not a great golfer.
Yeah.
My game is not dependent upon me using my own clubs. I will be terrible no matter what. So just hire someone to get there. It's probably the best idea. It'll be a lot cheaper and easier.
My view is, unless I need something very, very specific, There's no need to have anything other than hand luggage.
Now, see, the first time I went to America, I flew over with just hand luggage.
You didn't land, you just flew over.
Yeah, just flew over, yeah.
That was silly, wasn't it?
But no, all I took with me was my carry-on. To the point that I was like, I'm not going to take, I'm not packing a toothbrush or toothpaste or shampoo shower gel. I will buy it when I arrive. And that's exactly what I did. The flight back, however, I actually had to go and buy a large suitcase because I bought a lot of stuff while I was there. And then brought it back with me. I don't know why, because most of that stuff I could have bought in the UK. But because I was in America, I was like, I'm going to live a little and buy it in America and bring it home with me and say, yeah, this came from America. The American flag behind me came from America. I bought that in a Walmart in Maine. And I still have it. I mean, now 12 years later, I still have it. But yeah, but that did not fit in my carry-on, so I had to buy a big suitcase for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd already paid for checked luggage, so I didn't pay any extra to bring it all back. The only thing I paid extra for was a new bag. Yeah, I just took everything on carry-on and bought everything that I needed when I got there that I wasn't allowed to take on a plane. So like I said, I bought my toiletries, knife, gun, bought all that when I got there. Can't take those on a plane.
Knife, gun, knuckle dusters.
Yeah.
All the good stuff you can't take on a plane anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interestingly, so when I went over in 2023, I figured out, because I wasn't vaping the first time I went over, but I vaped when I went over last time. And I did a bit of research, and you can't put things with batteries in your checked luggage for some airlines, or most airlines.
Oh.
So if you take something that has a battery, like a vape pen or a camera, it has to be in your hand luggage.
Oh.
So it can be scanned properly and inspected and all of that. So just to make sure it doesn't blow up while it's in the hold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found that one quite interesting. But yeah, then I'm like, well, great. Now I'm sat in an airport with my vape pen in my pocket, and I can't use it. Thankfully, I had nicotine patches. So you're talking about snuff. I had nicotine patches.
Yeah.
I bought them. Well, actually, I bought them because I had this idea that I would eventually quit nicotine, and then I was like, actually, this is it was a shit excuse at the time, but because it required a significant investment to, do it, I just didn't have the cash on me at the time. But oddly, if I'd just put that investment in, I probably would have come off nicotine and would have stopped vaping and would have saved myself a fortune overall. But no, yes, but it actually turned out really useful for when I was flying. 10 hours or 9-10 hours on a plane, just slap on a nicotine patch, call it good.
Yeah.
But it's not because it's not just the 9 or 10 hours on the plane; it's the 2 to 3 hours in the airport beforehand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like you can't do it unless you're really lucky and you find yourself in an airport with a smoking area. I think the last time I saw one of those was when I flew to Aberdeen in 2017, and they had a designated smoking area, which you had to pay £1 for. I
mean, you're more likely to find that on the way back nowadays. In other countries, you definitely won't find that here. Hey, you know how we sorted out all the technical difficulties?
Yeah.
And one of the things we were saying was, if we have a break, will we have the music?
We will definitely have the music.
Did we get that sorted?
Yeah, I got that sorted. Do you want some music?
Let's put it to the test and have a short break.
All right. Oh, and we're back.
We are back.
We're back. We were gone for so long, the music started cycling itself again.
Yeah, God, cranky.
No, I'm kidding. I was trying to refreshing my mad DJ skills whilst whilst I was waiting, and I accidentally clicked a couple of tracks twice. So we had a couple of repeats in there. So my bad, everybody. I need to get like virtual DJ on here and just like start mixing tracks from YouTube Music that's free. The YouTube audio library, so it's free and copyright free, and I can just play around with my DJ skills. I'll get I'll put my big headphones on over my normal there you go, like that. So, and I'll be like that.
Yeah, and bring back Sunday Night Rock with CJ Brooks.
Yeah. Night Rock.
FM.
That was, I was thinking about that the other day actually.
Yeah.
I was like, I do miss it, but I think what I miss the most is just an excuse to sit there and listen to music for a couple of hours.
Well, yes. I mean,
in an order that I decide.
Yeah.
So,
almost like you could just have a Spotify account and be done with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got Apple Music, but what I tend to do when I'm driving, because I only really use it when I'm driving, and I most of the time go on longer journeys, so I'll just put an album on and let it roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just let it ride and call that good. But yeah, it's like when I'm actually kind of sat there, actively playing music, I'm like, oh, actually, what will go next? I'll go well after this one, and I'll select the next track, and I'll beat match it, and tone match it in some cases, and yeah, just have fun with it. So yeah, that's what I was doing. For the last 20 minutes. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway.
I won't tell you what I was doing.
So welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Well, welcome back. I can see that the chat's kicking off after you've asked the question.
Yep.
What's the weirdest thing you've taken on a plane? Let us know.
Yep.
Yeah, that really hasn't captured the imagination of the
Really
viewing and listening public, largely because they're probably asleep
I was
or
like, they're not
doing
here.
something else.
Yeah, they're just they're busy doing the laundry. So
Yeah, or throwing the laundry in the bin.
yeah, just throwing the dirty washing in the bin for no reason.
Yeah. Lazy bitch. Right.
Yep.
So, what we do? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just about to ask you if you had any more good things to share, because I have found one absolutely epic. Am I the arsehole? To end, and I'd like to end the show with it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me. In that case, let me show you. Well, we've still not had a cat of the week, so
Holy crap.
I think we ought to go with our cat of the week.
Right, here we go.
Meow meow.
Cat of the week. Meow meow.
You just crash it every freaking time. Just like, meow meow. Here we go.
There we go. Now this is I've chosen as our cat of the week. Is it a cat? Is it a dinosaur?
It's a dinosaur or a dragon.
Yeah, or a dragon. Yeah, it
Well,
could be a dragon.
there's no wings. It can't be a dragon. If you drew wings on it though, it would absolutely be a dragon.
Yeah, or
Oh.
a tampon. No, a tampon. A tail. Screwed that up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yes, that's because that's how much I know about female hygiene products.
Look, Ted. Menstruation jokes are just not funny. Period.
Ooh, you little leader.
So I'm glad you laughed at my joke, because that was terrible. Yeah, no, I like this cat of the week. This is good.
Yeah, the caption on there, if you can't see it, it says new creature. So there we go. A new creature's just dropped. It's a cat.
Catosaurus.
A catosaurus.
Yep. Well, that took me a moment to think about.
Yeah. Or could it be a dino cat?
Could be Dino Cat.
Dino cat, yeah.
Yeah. Right, now I'm thinking. Now you got me thinking about this. Right, Dino Cat, Catosaurus, Pterodactyl instead of pterodactyl.
Yeah. What are the dinosaurs are
I mean, they all just generally end saurus, don't they?
there? Yeah.
So, Tyrannosaurus, Brontosaurus.
This bench is hard. I've got a Saurus.
That's Majosaurus. Majosaurus? Oh, right. Okay, but hang on. Right. So, have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
The TV show. And there's I can't remember if it's an episode or if it's a bit of a running joke through the whole thing, or after they thought about it, it became a running joke where they, when it's like anything that could be like military related, they end up saluting. So it's like, and it was a major disappointment, and they all go, major disappointment. I did that today at work. So we were talking about major incident management.
Oh, yeah.
So, 'cause I work in IT, we have to deal with major incidents like network outages and that kind of thing. And every time someone said, and it took them a little while to pick up on what I was doing, but every time someone said major incident management, I was like, that. Major incident management? It took them a little while to pick up what I was doing, but yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was a boring meeting. I had to make it fun for myself.
Well, absolutely. I'm in the process of teaching my little boy how to make stupid jokes. So now whenever he sees a bin that says general waste, he says, "Yeah, I knew him when he was a captain." So there we go.
General detritus.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you gotta teach your kids how to tell dad jokes.
Yep.
It's just the law, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Anyway, so that was Cat of the Week.
Cat of the week. Meow meow.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. See, now
Meow,
you can.
meow.
That's the time to do it.
Yeah. I'm learning. I think it's almost like an instinctive thing. As soon as I see the cat pop up, I give it the old meow meow.
I'm surprised you don't do the old. Is that what people do with their hands? I don't know.
Cats' hearing is really good.
Yeah.
So I was in I was in my son's bedroom and the window was open a bit, and about 100 yards away, about 50 yards away, I don't know.
He's distance away from you.
A distance away that was about at least 25 yards away.
Okay.
It's getting shorter every time, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
What she said.
And then, yeah. So anyway, it was, also on a hill, so it's down well out of the way. And there's this cat just sitting on its on a car bonnet, just minding its own business. So very much, I'm outside of its area. I just went. Pss, pss. Oh, did I do that? No, I think I went.
Yeah.
And it looked up. And
did it whip its head around like it was going to try to snap its own neck? Was it like that? Whoosh.
No, it just looked up. It's like, oh, who's that?
What's that noise? Knob off.
Yeah, it's like guy in the window.
Yeah. No, I had a joke, but it would have been funnier if you did it to a dog.
Okay.
Because there's that song, "How much is that doggy in the window?"
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then I'd have been like,
How much is that pussy in the
That's it.
window?
Did the dog then say, "How much is that person in the window?"
I thought we were going to go with "How much is that pussy in the window?" And what is this? Some Amsterdam joke? I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, what you've got? Am I the arsehole or something for us?
Yeah, it's a. Yeah. I read it and I was laughing. I read it. You said read it. Get it?
You said the thing.
He said it. He said it. Anyway, but yeah, no, it made me laugh. So I thought I'll share this one. I'd like to kind of tie off the show with this one. So
okay.
Here is. Am I the arsehole for ruining our sex life by saying I'm close, Pookie Bear? Tagged as not safe for work. So if you're at work on loud, I suggest you put headphones in. It's actually not that bad, to be fair.
Right.
Anyway, while having sex with my girlfriend, I was intending to say I'm close, insert cute nickname here, to let her know to get off of me. But instead, Pookie Bear came out and our sex life has been ruined. We've not had sex since. This was about 3 days ago, and we cannot stop joking about it. It's hard to imagine doing it again without the fear of the joke popping up. That's what she said.
Yeah.
We've joked about it before, how cringe it would be to say Pookie Bear while having sex. I'm close, Pookie Bear now haunts me like a demon in the shadows. Am I the arsehole for ruining our sex life?
Wow.
Thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
number one,
wild horses aren't going to get you off once I'm close, Pookie Bear. But apart from that, yeah, you, no, you'll get over it. I think.
I was like, you know what? Okay, that was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
If you can't go for 3 days without sex, I think you got bigger problems. But at the same time, why do you think you've ruined it? If anything, you've just created one of the best relationship stories, bonding moments ever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, stories. It's something to tell the grandkids, isn't it? Crikey.
It's something to tell your friends, isn't it? When you're just having a laugh and a joke about stuff, you'd be like, "Oh my god, you'll never guess what I did. We were having sex and I needed her to get off, and I wanted to come up with like a cute name for her, and I said I'm close Pookie Bear." And your mates will laugh about it, you'll laugh about it, and that's it. End of discussion. And then you've just given yourself the most epic inside joke ever. You know, other than your penis. You know, I mean, come on. Get over yourself.
Yes.
You're an arsehole for thinking that you've ruined your entire sex life by saying, I'm close Pookie Bear.
What are your thoughts on pet names?
I think they
Not
should
names of pets.
No, I think they should be generated organically. I don't think you can force anything like that. And if anything, you know, his girlfriend has now got the permanent cute pet nickname Pookie Bear.
Yeah.
You know, for the rest of their relationship / lives, whichever ends first. So yeah, you know, I just think that's it. I don't mind them. You know, people go babe, baby, honey, love, whatever. You get the standard ones. I don't think it's something I've ever really partook in.
No.
It's yeah, I've done babe, hun, sweetheart. I don't know.
No, I can't stand. I hate babe. Anything like love or sweetheart just makes me. I just think to myself, well, I can't say that because I'm not a builder,
Right?
you know. And or a mechanic.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a builder or a mechanic or a lady who works in a bakery to use those words.
All right, love. You got to be from the north as well.
Yeah.
All right, love.
You're right, pet.
Yeah. Hello, pet. I use babe. Yeah, I think I'm generally quite limited to that. Mainly because everything else just sounds a bit weird to me. Like, you know, darling is like, oh hello, darling. I just think I'm Blackadder. You know, hello, darling.
Yes. Yeah, that's what immediately you think of, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is for me. You know,
Captain Darling.
That's it. That's Captain Darling. Baby. I know I've deployed baby every so often, but it's not in the regular rotation. Yeah. I say it like it's an asset, you know. Like when you follow somebody through a set of doors, like somebody holds a door open for you, you say, "Oh yeah, cheers." And then they hold the next door open for you, like, "Yeah, thank you." But then you get to the third one, you're like, "I don't know what else to say. I've already deployed cheers and thank you."
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to say? Oh, brilliant! You're a legend. You know. Oh, what a superhero!
Legendary.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's what you should do. When you can see the doors and stuff in front of you, you should predict. And again, back to the How I Met Your Mother thing, because it's in my head now. Well, on the first one, you say legend, and then deploy, cheers, thanks, whatever, for the next set. And then on the last one, you go Derry. Legendary. You haven't watched How I Met Your Mother that much. That's fine.
No,
that's fine. That's a joke for people who have.
Yeah, I thought you were going somewhere completely different with that. I thought you were going to salute or something.
No,
Okay.
legendary. I think I can't remember which seasons it was, but like one season ended with Barney Stinson, you know, saying legend as if he's going to say legendary, because this whole thing was putting a big pause between legend and Derry. So a season ended with him saying legend, and then the next season started with him saying Derry.
All right.
It was a really good joke. I appreciated it very much. But that's the level of my sense of humour. But yeah, anyway, back to pet names. Yeah, I think Babe is generally the only one I deploy on a regular basis. Love if I'm pretending to be a northerner.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, that's not really a pet name I use in a relationship. I tend to use that around friends more than anything else. Like somebody will call me on Teams, and I'll be like, "All right, love."
All right. Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, no. And I can't remember ever using pet names. Yeah, I can't remember ever using them.
No.
So.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever been called a pet name. Oh no, once when I was in school, one of my first relationships, my girlfriend at the time called me Ickle.
Oh. I've heard that.
Yeah, and I assume it was a reference to my small penis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. So she, the thing with pet names is what we're talking about is it within a relationship. So I mean, those ones that you say outside of a relationship, pet, love, darling,
They're just terms of endearment, aren't they?
all that sort of thing. Yeah, terms of endearment that you can't really use, like I say, unless you're either a builder or in a work setting, unless you want to have a close relationship with HR.
Yeah.
But inside a relationship, I think then there's also the more sort of British element of how we speak to one another, and how it varies. So if you're acquaintances, you speak to people in a very polite sort of a way, whereas if you've got real friends, you just chat shit at them.
Yeah.
To their face.
Yeah, you just call them every swear word under the sun.
Yeah. So the chances are, if you're going to have a pet name in Britain, certainly in a relationship, it's probably going to be like something like dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Do you want to see some of the comments?
I do want to see some of the comments.
Yeah, cool. So we've got so this is the Am I the Arsehole for ruining our sex life by saying I'm close Pookie Bear. Not the arsehole because your sex life isn't ruined. Not having sex for 3 days isn't that bad. If anything, you just created an epic inside joke. There you go. That's probably why I said epic inside joke, because I must have read that. The inside joke, Inception, is what someone else said. Sometimes I truly love Reddit. I mean, this is probably the best Am I the Arsehole I've ever found. It's just stupid. If she didn't get off because she was laughing too hard, maybe even a conception, instead of the inception, or dickception, somebody else said. Laughing my arse off, came here for drama, stayed for the Pookie Bear lore. You will be back in no time, just with bonus giggles. Yep. This guy really thinks saying Pookie Bear once killed his entire sex life when really they just needed an excuse to stop having sex for 3 days straight. Yeah. 3 days without sex isn't the apocalypse. It's just a cool down after launching the funniest inside joke ever. I'm close Pookie Bear is comedy gold. If anything, the original poster just added a legendary story to their relationship history. Also wear a condom, the pull-out method doesn't work. So there you go. That's some of the good comments that came out of that. So but it's true though. You've just created a great story, and a great bit of like I say, relationship history, as it says there. It's brilliant. I love it. I mean, if that ever happened to me, I'd just 100% just roll with it.
Yeah.
And I'd just, like I say, if I was this guy, I'd just all the time just call her Pookie Bear. Use it to the point that the words just have no meaning anymore. It's like when you say a word so often that you suddenly go, this word just doesn't mean anything to me anymore, and it sounds strange.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, pick any word. Bottle. Just say bottle enough times. And you'll look at a bottle, you'll pick up a bottle, and then you'll just end up in that loop of like bottle. Am I even saying it right? Bottle, bottle, bottle. And that's it. And that's what will happen with Pookie Bear. You'll just say it enough that it will just lose its meaning, but you'll know that forever that's just her pet name.
Yeah.
And if anyone ever asks, you've got a great story to tell. So not the arsehole. And the arsehole for thinking you ruined a relationship out of it, or because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's our advice. Basically, forget about it. Get back on it.
Yeah.
Don't lose your bottle. Bottle.
Yeah, get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Not that I'm calling your girlfriend a horse, but... Yeah.
Well, no, from the way it was described, it was rather the other way around.
Yeah, he was the horse.
Yeah. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say farewell until next week.
Don't hurt yourself over this, Jesus.
What?
You're stringing this one out.
Oh, sorry. I'm. Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyway, if you got anything to say, which you probably don't have because you probably weren't watching. If you were, you would have been in the chat. Nobody was in the chat.
No.
It was very disappointing. There are only 2 people in the chat with us. So try again next time, chat. But do please join us next week. And hopefully we'll find out all of our technical difficulties, although you wouldn't have actually known because we were here on pretty much on time, more or less.
On time and actually I think everything worked.
Yeah,
it was just me pressing the wrong button at the start. That's all it was.
That would have been it. So so make sure you're here next week and every Friday at 9 p.m. and sometimes we'll be here too. In the meantime, you can leave your comments below, or you can also DM the show. You could DM me at Ted James Media, or you could email the show at
TJ and Ted at thetuesdayshow.co.uk.
Okay, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye, Pookie Bear. Yeah, I thought you might like that one.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. See you next time. Bye.